Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of the Jedi In Exile. We hope you are all well. We are into our second episode now, reviewing Andor. So we know we had their 3-episode premiere. We've already reviewed episode 1, so if you've missed that, the link will be in the description of the video. It's actually up top apparently, not down below. It's up top. And don't remember, while you're at it, watching all of our videos, you can like and subscribe and tick that little notification bell as well. It's all much appreciated. So Matthew, episode 2, we've watched it now. We haven't yet watched episode 3. So again, we're reviewing this as a standalone episode. Continuing on from episode 1. So what were your thoughts of episode 2? It was a little bit shorter. So what did you make of it?
So I feel like, again, like, not a lot happened, even though a lot happened. Like, it's all, it sounds like a really stupid thing to say.
A lot seems to be being set up, doesn't it?
Yeah, and I think that's the point, right? Which I totally get. There's 12 episodes in this series. We are into episode 2, like you said, shorter episode. They did a 3-episode premiere, so I'm hoping that there is a big payoff.
Thank God they did that as well. Thank God they did that.
So, I think that, like, let's talk about some of the stuff that we've seen, right? So we've seen the fact that Cassian's trying to sell this piece. The buyer's coming. The security guys know that it's Cassian Andor because your Scottish man, is it Tim?
Yeah.
Has
what
like
turned name in the Star Wars universe.
Yeah.
Timmy.
Turned him in because he's jealous.
Yeah.
Of like Cassian's relationship with Bix.
Yeah.
So yeah, it just feels a bit strange. But we got big Stellan Skarsgård has finally made his appearance.
Yeah, he's still the dad. It's not Piers Brosnan.
So
Stellan Skarsgård.
he's obviously there, and that's the mysterious buyer. And actually, he was obviously a massive part of all of the preview stuff, like the trailers and everything.
Yeah.
So we now kind of know what his role is, and we assume going to be something to do with the rebellion, or lead Cassian in some way towards the rebellion, right? Like, the reason that, well, I've made the assumption that the reason that he buys all of these parts is because he's doing something to help the rebellion with their equipment. That's kind of where I'm going.
I do just wonder though, and obviously you'd assume that he is part of the rebellion, but I feel like they could do it almost like, it reminds me of Force Unleashed, that Starkiller was basically, Vader wanted someone to go into to start a rebellion, so that Vader then knew who the
because it brought them all out.
Like, it flushed them out. So I do wonder whether Stellan Skarsgård could be a character maybe similar to that, in the sense of he is a spy, and he's then reporting back, but acting as a bit of a underground agent,
like double agent.
Yeah, absolutely. So I do wonder whether they'll go that route with it. But yeah, you're absolutely right. He seems to be a huge part. Well, he's been a huge part of the trailer, the teasers, everything that's come out. We get a bit more of Aunt Petunia in this episode as well. Who's I don't know whether she's actually called Mother or Martha.
I think Marva.
Marva. Yeah.
I think is her name, but obviously is essentially Cassian's mum. We assume from the fact that they're all panicking about like who knows and who doesn't know that she's not his real mum.
No.
But we don't know. So I think it was interesting. We obviously got the introduction of him. We got the more kind of depth on the security piece. The Scottish the commander. Commander. He's an interesting one. Because I can't quite tell whether he's deliberately doing this to set this guy up to fail, or whether he's doing it because he genuinely believes it and he's just like a die-hard kind of, heart on his sleeve. Let's get out there. Let's fight these rebel scum. I don't know. Like I said, it's difficult. I feel like I said, a lot has happened in regards to new characters, and it's building to something. Obviously, the episode kind of finished with Stellan Skarsgård, like, obviously coming down. Cassian, we assume, on his way to meet him, and with the security forces kind of on their way to go and try and arrest Cassian. So I'm hoping for a big old payoff in episode 3. Who knows?
Well, I think something obviously that was a little bit interesting in this episode was the whole we assume Republic vessel that crashed, and obviously we see that there's these bodies that the Canary, like, boys and girls have seen that are all like mustard coloured. So there's obviously been, whether there was the accident was caused by, you know, nobody being at the controls or whatever because they'd all died, or whether that was an after effect of them crashing, I have no idea. But obviously I assume it can't be his sister because he's looking for her, but it's obviously someone he admires. Is
like the leader of that little group, yeah.
Is that gets killed, and then obviously they're like a tribe, aren't they? Because they're like shooting darts at the Republic with the officer, whether it's the officer or whether it's just a normal soldier.
One of the people, yeah.
So that was, and it's quite interesting, these flashbacks. I wonder whether they'll continue, because we had this same kind of theme in Book of Boba Fett, where the first 3 episodes there was like half the episode was a flashback, but then I think on episode 4 it then stopped, and it was like we'd caught up to where his story was. So I wonder whether with Andor there's going to be maybe just constantly flashbacks about like how he's got to where he is.
I quite like it, because what tends to happen, and with a lot of shows that do this, is they leave like a little breadcrumb in the flashback that you kind of go, well, that's going to have been important for some reason, and then all of a sudden you're like, oh, okay, it makes sense.
We get it. Yeah.
So no, I don't know. I think for me, there isn't much to say about this episode. It, like, as I said, we've had these introduction of these new people. That's kind of about it. I feel like it is really building to more of a crescendo, and maybe that is the reason that there is a 3-episode premiere. It's because it would have been,
it's so damn boring that
kind of
3 episodes in one.
Kind of good to put it in.
But I did like I when I was watching this one, I did wonder, and it could be a character of like so little significance, but the old guy on the transport with like the Bluetooth like
headset
thing, talking to Stellan Skarsgård like the whole time, like that weird creepy guy who's always on the bus, like, oh, where are you heading? Yeah, I'm going into town. Like, can you believe these guys charging £3.20 for a single?
I really want your man who rings the bell to be like a big important guy. But we'll see. I'm happy to move on to scores. Yeah, that's what I was going to say.
Yeah. So score. What are you thinking with this one? So, for those who haven't watched episode 1, you gave a historic first.
Yeah.
On the Jedi In Exile review shows, because we had a 0.75 brought out.
We did.
So we've only ever had really 0.5. So you gave the last episode a 6.75. I gave it a 6 exactly, which gave us an average score of 6.375.
Yep, correct.
Episode 2, what are you thinking?
6.5.
Ooh, you copycat, because I was going to go 6.5 as well. And I think that's a fair score, because even though it's a shorter episode than episode 1, naturally episode 2 there's a bit more going on. And I think again it does kind of tease that hopefully in episode 3 and then obviously episode 4, 5, etc., that there's going to be a lot more built on, because again we haven't really seen anything from the trailer yet in episode 1 and 2.
No,
so there's still a lot more to come.
I think it's really difficult, right? Because obviously we've been spoilt with like Kenobi and Book of Boba Fett and all of that kind of stuff, in that there are slightly longer episodes but shorter series in number of episodes, and I think that's kind of maybe difficult for me to get my head around.
So if it continues on this length at around, on average probably 40 minutes an episode, then it's going to be almost the same as Kenobi, that was 6 episodes, but some of them were like an hour and 10 minutes or an hour and 20 minutes. Like,
and I think that's the difficult thing. If this had been with the first episode, then only one episode would have been getting a low score potentially, and that so it's difficult. It's difficult.
We spoke about this just before we came on air, and I think it's something valid that we need to talk about. Is that we're still hungover on Kenobi. We're still kind of drunk on Kenobi as Star Wars fans. That I feel like we're not quite ready for something else major. And obviously Disney, this is a huge series for Disney, and for Filoni and the guys over at the Star Wars team, Kathleen Kennedy. I think that they've not pinned a lot of hopes on Andor, but Andor, you can clearly tell there is a lot of money been spent on this. This is an era and a story that they really want to explore, so there's a lot riding on this.
And it's a slightly different direction in regards to what it is that they are presenting. Because
it's not lightsabers. Yeah. It's a very different Star Wars medium. So there's a lot riding on this, and I think from what I can see on social media so far, the reactions have kind of been the same as ours, in the sense of like we're still kind of undecided as to how we feel about all of this. So I think 6.5 is a fair score.
Perfect.
I think it's a fair score.
There you got it. There you have it, folks. Let us know down in the comments below if you disagree. Let us know if we're in for an absolute banger of an episode 3 or not. We're literally now off to watch it to then immediately review it. So let us know in the comments down below. While you're there, hit like, hit subscribe, all of that great stuff. Thank you so much for all of the support you've been showing us so far. We massively appreciate it. And all that is left to say is we'll see you all guys real soon in the next one.
May the Force be with you all.